interesting point that stood out to me in your conversation about this system coming our way and the cold air is tomorrow morning we'll get up and say, wow, it's cold.
Yeah.
And that's the warmest it will be all day.
Yeah, which is obviously typically your high temperature is, depending on the time of year, between 2 and 4 p.m.
Later.
Yeah, in this case, the high is likely to be midnight.
While we're asleep.
Right after midnight, and then it'll fall after that. So have fun with that. We all know it's coming though. There's no one, I don't think, that could say they should be caught off guard tomorrow or Saturday, right, at this point. So that's the good news. We were chilly again this morning, 13 in Portland, 2 in Wiscasset, 1 below in Bar Harbor. That's cold for them. Obviously, you know that if you live in that area. Typically, it doesn't quite get that cold. 6 below in Bangor, 4 below in Millinocket. And yet, that front has not come through yet. This is just part of the colder lobe of air that's broken off, but not the true core of it settled over. And you can see that in our daytime highs. Today, upper 20s to around 30 degrees, and we will not sniff that over the next couple of days. It'll take until Sunday afternoon to get back to this level of temperature. So I guess enjoy it. I don't know. There are the clouds coming in as well. The clouds actually going to help us a little bit through the first half of tonight. We've talked about how radiational cooling happens faster when you've got clear skies. So the first half of tonight is not particularly brutal until that front comes through. So here we are at 10 o'clock. Front is just about to move into the mountains. Some whiteout conditions possible within these snow squalls. Very dramatic a lot of times when this Arctic air comes in. But watch that front come through. And so 2 o'clock, 27, 27, 31. Try to remember those numbers. Okay. And then 5 hours later, 2 below, 2, 4 below in Lewiston. And it continues to fall through the afternoon. And by the time you get out of work tomorrow, you know, depending on your shift, of course, it's almost as cold as it's going to get. And I'm not sure if that part's as clear because we all talk about overnight Friday into Saturday morning is going to be very cold. That's true. But it's going to be really cold tomorrow afternoon, too. So the evening commute will have everyone well below zero, in some cases 20 degrees below zero. And then it just goes down a few more degrees from there, which I don't think sensibly matters all that much. Really, the worst of the core of this air is already in place tomorrow afternoon. And then here we are Saturday morning, obviously extremely cold, and we slowly start eking up Saturday afternoon, maybe getting above zero or along the coastline. Clouds come in, then we start to moderate. And Sunday morning is cold, but it's not the same level of air. So this hasn't really changed, right? We still think around 15 below along the coastline, and similar, just a little bit colder inland, and then 25 to 30 below into the mountains. The wind chill has not budged either because it is going to be very breezy. And again, that's the case tomorrow afternoon too. So just be aware of that, because I think a lot of people are thinking about this like, okay, I'm just not going to go anywhere on Saturday and I'll avoid this. But if you're working tomorrow, you will not avoid it when you get out of work at that point. So I thought about this last night. Like, maybe we should message that a little bit differently. So anyways, eventually though, we're going to pop out of this, and actually fairly dramatically. We could be into the mid-40s, if not warmer, by mid-next week. And we look February 8th through the 12th. That's where I'd rather be in February. Doesn't mean it's warm, but it means it's warmer than average. So there we go. Maybe a little mixture of rain and snow Tuesday night, Wednesday. No big systems here after that blitz that we had a couple of weeks ago. So we're kind of doing winter in piecemeal form, but not all at once. So we did the storms, doing the brutal cold, and then we'll go back to those warmer temperatures. But again, just think about tomorrow afternoon,
Great
tomorrow
advice
night.
on that.
Yeah.
Be ready for the ride home.
It's going to be,
Very rough. All right, Keith, thanks so much.